Hey there, parents. Are you thinking about moving your baby to their own room but feeling a little unsure about when and how to do it? You're not alone. This is a big step for both you and your little one, but don't worry, we're here to help you navigate this exciting milestone. First, let's talk about the American Academy of Pediatrics recommendation. They suggest that you should share a room with your baby for at least the first 6 months. And there's a good reason for this. Having your baby close by can actually decrease their risk of SIDS by up to 50%. That's a pretty significant number, and it's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But what if my baby's noises keep me up all night? If your baby is older than 6 months and their little grunts and squeaks are disrupting your sleep, it might be time to consider moving them to their own room. But if they're younger than 6 months, try using white noise to help mask those sounds. It can work wonders for helping both you and your baby get some much-needed rest. So, when is the best time to make the move? Well, I recommend doing it when your baby is around 6 to 7 months old. Why? Because after 7 months, babies become much more aware of their surroundings and might have a harder time adjusting to the change. They've gotten used to having you nearby, and suddenly being in a new space all alone can be a bit overwhelming. Plus, by the time most babies hit the 8-month mark, they really start to notice when there's no one around. If they're used to having company but suddenly find themselves alone, they might get pretty upset. This can be especially challenging for babies who have a sensitive or cautious temperament. But don't let this discourage you. There are plenty of ways to make the transition easier for both you and your baby. One thing you can do is start spending more time in your baby's room about 1 to 2 months before the big move. Use it for pleasant activities like feedings, massages, singing, and story time. You can even have your little one take some naps in their nursery to help them get used to the new space. When the big day finally arrives, try to keep up with all the sleep cues and routines your baby loves. Dim the lights, play some soothing white noise, and offer a pacifier if your baby uses one. And if your little one is 12 months or older, let them snuggle with a lovey for some extra comfort. Now, here's something to keep in mind: your baby might protest a bit when you leave the room at first. This is totally normal and doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. If it happens, pick your baby up right away and offer some comfort. But try not to talk too much or nurse them, because you might accidentally encourage the protests. As your baby starts to calm down, put them back down in their crib. You might have to repeat this process a few times, but as long as you respond quickly and use white noise, the fussing usually doesn't last more than 30 minutes. Before we wrap up, let's go over some important SIDS prevention tips. Always put your baby on their back for naps and nighttime sleep, and make sure their crib is free of soft objects and loose bedding. Keep the room temperature cool and comfortable, and consider using a fan to circulate the air. Breastfeeding, offering a pacifier, and providing plenty of tummy time during the day can also help reduce the risk of SIDS. So there you have it, your comprehensive guide to moving your baby to their own room. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more parenting tips and tricks. And if you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, leave us a comment below.